I was invited to go to Sudan, Southern Sudan, months before I started working on Rehab, and I accepted it. But then, as you know, we kind of figured out when Rehab was going to release and when the trip was. We saw that I would actually be gone during the release date, so there was the option at that point in time to say, okay, we got to stop the trip because of the album. So my wife actually was originally going to go on a trip, and she backed out. She didn't back out, but we made a conscious decision for her not to go, just based off of our kids and whatnot. So the opportunity or the option was really there for me to say, you know what, let me just focus on this album and not go to Sudan. But thinking through it, knowing who was leading the trip, my good friend Adam Thomason, who's just a very passionate dude and has a great heart, and just knowing that it will probably be necessary, being that this album, Rehab, has so many more dynamics to it, and so just with media and all types of different things, that it could really pull on my heart and pull on me away, in such a way that it pulled me away from why I originally started doing music. We thought it'd be best for me to go, just for my heart's sake, and to keep me focused on the mission at hand. Sorry. That being said, just made a conscious decision. It's probably best to be away from the album, away from everything that's going on surrounding the album, and be focused on the Lord's work. So the trip was an incredible trip. There's so many different elements to it. One element was, one of the pastors who's been very influential and just a good friend, Matt Chandler, decided to go on a trip, who's a pastor at the Village Church in Dallas. So just getting time with him was going to be special, being that he's battled brain cancer. And here he was, like, taking a trip to Sudan when just months prior he was diagnosed with brain cancer, had a seizure and the whole nine. So you got this element of getting time with this person who really helped me to focus. But then just getting there with our team and the people there, and seeing how here's a place that has been devastated by war, by poverty, by just all sorts of pain and turmoil, and it was just in need. And when the plane landed, and you're just expecting all this brokenness and all this horribleness to be surrounding you. And one of the orphanages that we went out there to go serve at, some of the orphans were outside of the runway singing, "Welcome, welcome, brothers and sisters, welcome to Sudan." And it was one of the most pleasant, just joyous times. And it was in complete contrast to everything you'd heard, complete contrast to everything that the news had shown about Sudan. And so it was just really encouraging. It really did rehabilitate my soul, just being out there, being focused on the mission at hand, being able to serve, being able to teach over 40 pastors who are all over Sudan, and they're just hungry for the word, and would sit for I literally taught for 6 hours straight. And it was just crazy that they were just willing to just soak all that up. I mean, in America, we can't sit still for 30 minutes, let alone 6 hours. But, so that was powerful. A place that's full of darkness, witchcraft, Islamic influence. And we were asked by the people who brought us out to do a concert, myself and Tedashii. And just being able to do this concert in Freedom Square, like, an outreach in the midst of everything. Everybody's out there. You see Muslims, out there. You see people who believe in black magic and voodoo and the whole nine, and they're just all out there waiting to see what you have to say. And and it was going well. It was a great concert initially, and our translators are translating kind of like what the songs are about. And then, just over the course of our time there, I just had seen Tedashii kind of get frustrated with people kind of thinking Allah was God, and I mean, it was like the spirit was provoked within them on stage, and I mean, there's hundreds of people around us, Muslim people, and Tedashii just snaps and screams, "Allah is not God, Jesus is God, Muhammad Muhammad is dead. And it was just crazy. I mean, it was just like, it got so real in that moment. I mean, I was like, we could die right now. You know what I mean? And it just got so real. It was just awkward. And spiritually, you really felt like we have an enemy, because as soon as he said that, the sound equipment just shut down. I mean, like the battery, like it just fizzed out. And then all the plugs were working, everything was working, but for whatever reason, the sound would not come on. And it was our team that was running the sound, so it wasn't like somebody sabotaged it. So you just felt this sense of fighting darkness, and it just quickly reminded you that we have an enemy and we have a truth, and we're speaking a powerful message that changes people's lives. And that just really did something in me as well, just to come back to the States and be reminded, like, this is not about me, this is not about sales, it's not about music, this is about something bigger than any of us really understand, dimensions that we don't really think